We take care of it all. And here's the big payoff. Anderson products increase a home's value by 15%. It's true. Get out your phone, plug in your home's value, and multiply it by 0.15. Boom. Now that's a smart investment. It all started 30 years ago, and this month, we want to celebrate with you. During our 30th anniversary sales event, get 30% off your entire purchase. And that's with no money down, no payments, and no interest for 1 year. Our design consultants, measure techs, certified master installers, and customer service staff are all local. And they're ready to give you the best home improvement experience you've ever had. Our 30th anniversary sale ends June 30th. Call Renewal by Anderson to schedule an appointment. 541-394-8900. That's 541-394-8900.
The savings continue with Buy Mart's latest savings book. Pick one up in store. Bonus zone savings include Pepsi brand 12 packs, buy two, get two. Plus save $3 on Old Trapper's 10-ounce beef jerky, saving you more when it's needed most. Buy Mart, since 1955.
Tonight, after Iran fires missiles at a major U.S. base, President Trump calls the attack very weak. So what happens next? Plus, over 195 million Americans suffering through sweltering heat. World News Tonight with David Muir is the #1 newscast in America.
Live, local, late breaking. This is Newswatch 12 Breaking News.
Several thousand Josephine County residents are without power and aren't expected to have power restored until after midnight. Thanks for joining us for Newswatch 12 at 5. I'm Samantha Cadera. These outages were first reported around 3:30 this afternoon. Let's take a live look at Pacific Power's outage map. You can see more than nearly 4,000 are without power between Applegate and Grants Pass. Newswatch 12 has reached out to Pacific Power, who said crews are responding and the cause is being investigated. Power is estimated to be restored after midnight. Now moving on to our fire watch, several engines were called to a fast-moving vegetation fire in rural Eagle Point this afternoon. Newswatch 12's Oscar Rodriguez went out to Eagle Point. Oscar, what has ODF told you about this fire?
Yeah, Sam, so about 3:45, a grass fire was reported here in Eagle Point, and shortly soon after, ODF units and Jackson County District 4 arrived to the scene. When they arrived to the scene, it was about a quarter of an acre, but soon right after, they were going to stop it to an acre of scene. And currently, the fire is still under investigation, but this is just a good reminder. Just be careful of the grass being too tall. And currently, they're actively mopping it up so it doesn't reignite. But reporting live from Eagle Point, I'm Oscar Rodriguez.
All right, Oscar, thank you. And the Illinois Valley Fire District and ODF responded to the Thompson Creek fire early this morning. Take a look at this vegetation fire that was reported around 6:20 this morning in Selma. Responding crews were able to stop the fire with just less than a quarter acre being impacted. The cause of the fire is currently under investigation. And following up on yesterday's fire along Table Rock Road, the ODF says the total of fires were 11 reported along the road. Though they're still under investigation, ODF believes these fires are vehicle related. Vehicle fires are common along roads in dry areas with very dry grass, and they're often caused by chains dragging and cars not being maintained or being parked on dry grass. All of these fires were stopped at small sizes, but ODF urges you to help prevent human-caused fires. This summer, be sure to check your car regularly and avoid parking in areas clear of dry grass. Now let's check in with Storm Tracker 12 Chief Meteorologist Matt Hoffman. Matt, it was very hot today. Can we expect it to continue to be this hot for the rest of the week?
Well, today is definitely a little bit toastier, but we will see temperatures easing back a little bit as we go through the next few days. Now notice up to 91 degrees in Medford, so a bit hot, that's for sure. West-northwest winds, though, picking up in Medford. You can see Harry and David Field there in the distance. And we have a Rogues game tonight. The Rogues taking on The Packers first pitch at 6:35 p.m. It'll still be near 90, but temperatures dropping through the 80s as we go through the game. By 9 o'clock, we'll be into the upper 70s. Should see mostly clear skies. Taking a look on the east side, now we do have some cumulus clouds that have been building up. A shower trying to get going, maybe a couple of raindrops underneath some of these clouds, but for the most part, we expect to stay mainly dry through the rest of this week. 91 degrees in Grants Pass. It's 89 right now in Montague, 82 in Klamath Falls, 80 in Lakeview. Cool on the coast, though, upper 50s in Gold Beach and Brookings. More of an onshore flow, and I do expect the marine layer to return to Brookings and much of the rest of the coast as we head into tonight. Medford will fall to about 57, 47 degrees in Klamath Falls. Tomorrow, mostly sunny skies for the region. Still quite warm, but it won't be as warm as today, and you will notice some breezier winds developing as we go through the afternoon, including in the Rogue Valley. In Medford, highs up around 87 degrees, so still a bit warm and above average for this time of the year. But wait till you see the heat this weekend. I'll talk more about a big warm up through the weekend coming up in just a bit.
And good news for those of you who are looking to cool off by the pool. The Caveman Pool in Grants Pass officially opened today. The city of Grants Pass made the announcement yesterday after maintenance issues delayed the pool's opening. The city says a replacement accessibility lift has been ordered, and they hope to have it installed by July 1st. And if you choose to cool off in our local waterways, Jackson County Sheriff's Office Marine Division is making sure boaters are staying safe. I went out with them to see how they patrol our waterways and what makes their mission so important.
Our Marine Division has 3 deputies and myself. We patrol 24/7 around the year. We cover about 2,800 square miles within the county.
With just a handful of deputies, the Marine Division is constantly on the move, keeping watch over everything from remote lakes to the Rogue River.
So we're out here doing enforcement and education. You know, we like to let people know to wear a life jacket, be safe. We want to make sure that education is a big piece for them. A lot of people don't realize how bad water can be until they're on the water.
Deputies say education is key, especially for kids. And while the Oregon State Marine Board recently faced a funding reduction, which impacts this department, they say this won't stop them from staying visible and active.
There is a reduction in state funding, and that's not going to change what we're going to do. We're still going to focus on being out here on the rivers and on the waters to be able to make sure people are being safe, and if they need help, give us a call. Boating and drinking usually doesn't mix. Make good, safe decisions. Don't put yourself in a situation where you could hurt yourself, you could hurt somebody else.
And continuing our coverage of Senate Bill 83, the bill is now heading to Governor Tina Kotek's desk after overwhelming support in the House today. The bill has been a source of contention in our region, with both residents and local lawmakers expressing frustration for how the bill impacts them.
I've seen the new map. I'm not happy with it because actually the map it's not clear and concise. It doesn't bring in individual people, individual properties. It consolidates everyone and all the same.
If signed, the bill will repeal the statewide wildfire hazard map, directing Oregon's fire marshal to develop a code for creating defensible space instead. ODF and OSU developed the map in 2021 with the passage of Senate Bill 762. Also continuing our coverage of the bill that sought to keep pharmacies from going out of business. House Bill 3212 was rejected in the 2025 Oregon legislative session, piling onto the problems of struggling pharmacies. We wanted to know how this impacted patients. Oscar Rodriguez has the details.
With House Bill 3212 not advancing, not only does it make things worse for Oregon pharmacies, but as well for the community across the state. Oregon has the second worst pharmacy access in the country. Over a few hundred pharmacies have closed due to bankruptcy, reduced reimbursement in prescription drugs, and many more issues. Pharmacists now warn Oregonians they will have a harder time accessing prescription drugs. So what it means for the consumer makes it difficult to find a pharmacy.
And now we're going to have more pharmacies closed, and people are going to suffer because they're not going to have access to their pharmacies.
I spoke with Brian Mayo, Executive Director of Oregon State Pharmacy Association. He highlighted with pharmacies shutting down, people will go to local pharmacies in urban communities and are expected to see longer wait times.
Large surge of additional patients, which is going to back up the lines already and increase the times for patients being able to get their medications.
Mayo told me that some people might have to drive for a few hours just to find their nearest Walgreens.
Nobody's going to drive 4 hours to go get a medication. That's just not feasible. What they're going to do is they're going to go to their closest hospital and back up the emergency rooms because they can't get access to their medications.
For local pharmacies in Southern Oregon like Black Oak, mentioned pharmacies closing makes it hard to staff enough people on shift.
I heard those wait times were 1 to 2 weeks because there are not enough pharmacists and not enough technicians to do those kinds of volumes. Just wish that bill would have passed because I'm afraid there's just going to be more pharmacies shut down.
From Medford, I'm Oscar Rodriguez.